Welcome to theater session, Azure Stack Role Guide and Certification. My name is Chung Wei. I'm a program manager on the Azure Stack engineering team. This is the fourth day of the event. So some of you, if you're attending pre-day, this will be the fifth day. So it's been a long week. Really appreciate that you're showing up here. Hopefully in the next 20 minutes or so, I'll give you some information that's useful to why you're here. So quickly, our program management team, our product team is fairly customer focused, so we conduct year-round customer research panels. We reach out to customers and talk to them, understand what your requirements are, what your concerns are, what your current use cases and your current challenges by using our product. If you're interested, we'd love to have you join our discussion panel. We'll regularly reach out and schedule calls with you. And this is also one way for you to help influence and help shape how our Azure Stack, the future is going to look like. Now, for the next 20 minutes or so, I'm going to walk you through the Azure Stack job roles. What are the roles that's relevant to Azure Stack? And what are the training resources and learning resources available for you and your team to learn and to get the knowledge required around Azure Stack? How many of you have a pretty decent understanding of Azure Stack is? I see probably only half, so I'll go really quick on this slide. I know some people probably seen this multiple times. In a very short 30-second elevator pitch, Azure Stack is an extension of Azure. And it essentially brings Azure into your own data center. So imagine that you are running an instance of Azure in your own data center. And some people may say, why? Why do I need that? There are three main use cases that we see that's critical to our customers. One is edge and disconnect scenarios, where if you have an unreliable network connectivity to public internet, you can't completely count on public cloud. So you need something that runs locally on the edge. That's one. Second scenario is where you have government, financial, and corporate policies that prevent you to put anything on the public cloud. In that case, or just, for example, your CTO, CIO says, I'm not ready for public cloud yet. In that case, and at the same time, your developers, your app guys saying, I don't want to live behind, I don't want to be left behind for those cloud-native technologies like Dockers and Kubernetes and serverless computing, and what do I do without cloud? This is your solution. Scenario number three, where we actually see many cases customers come to us to say, we actually have a hybrid need. I need part of my workload run on-prem, part of workload on the public cloud. Sometimes I need to burst into public cloud. It's not my preferred method, but I do need that in case of emergency. So that's the three kind of key scenario. Now, what we do on Azure Stack is we try to keep everything consistent with Azure. It's true not only from look and feel, API level, but also from a business model, from a support model, as well as trainings and learnings. And we'll talk about that next. So real quick, what is Azure Stack and what is not? Azure Stack is not a simple virtualization replacement play. I've heard many people throughout the week at the booth come to me to say, I got a VMware environment today, and getting very expensive, hardware is about to be refreshed. Can I just lift and shift my VMware to Azure Stack? It's not a simple yes or no answer. I want to caveat that. Because the way how we look at Azure Stack, it's really not even in the same category as VMware. VMware is a virtualization solution, does a good job on some of the IaaS capabilities, but Azure Stack is far more than that. So I think in order to have a discussion around that, really we need to sit down and walk through what is your longer term cloud strategy all up, what is your use cases that you want to leverage Azure Stack for. Some people will come to me to say, I got a bunch of hardware, can I reuse my existing hardware and deploy Azure Stack on that? That's not the right answer, because Azure Stack is the integrated solution. Think about that as a SAN or as your cable modem. It comes with the hardware and the software bundled together. Third one is static system that some people say, hey, is that like in my Windows server or SQL server or my Exchange server? I deploy it and only update it half a year or once a year. You can't really do that. This is cloud. This is Azure. So we got to keep up with the cloud cadence. Microsoft will release updates every month. We do highly encourage our customers to follow along every month. But at the very least, what we're asking customers to do is you need to stay current with us. You can't defer more than 3 months of the update to stay within support boundary. So it's really kind of a cloud cadence that really you need to embrace. Last, certainly not least, Azure Stack is not a Windows-only cloud. We embrace hybrid, we embrace cross-platform, we actually love Linux. If you go onto our marketplace, you'll see Dockers and Kubernetes and a whole bunch of Cloud Foundries, a whole bunch of third-party open source technologies that's all kind of flourish or blossom in our platform. We certainly embrace that, and hopefully you enjoy those as well. Now, going to today's main subject, what are the key roles that it's going to be critical for you to run your Azure Stack environment? These are the 4 roles. Like I mentioned before, it's consistent with Azure, except the top one. The other 3, Azure Solution Architect, Azure Administrator, and DevOps. These 3 roles are exactly the same role you would need for a public Azure environment. What we're adding here that doesn't exist in Azure is the Azure Stack Operator. Now you may ask why. Because in public Azure, Microsoft runs Azure. We have our engineers, DevOps guys, behind the scene, they have a bunch of tools and scripts, in the dark room, and 24/7, they run Azure. But when you run an instance of Azure in your own data center, you need someone to run that environment. You need someone to watch the health of the system. You need someone to create plans, to create offers. You need someone to onboard new services onto the platform. So you need this role. Okay, and we'll walk through exactly what that role means. And this is kind of a pictographic view of what these 4 roles are. Again, on the top, this is the public Azure, very simplistic view. Microsoft engineers operates this Azure, and then Azure Customs comes in to use it. On the bottom for Azure Stack, this engineer your ops team who operates Azure Stack are the Azure Stack operators. And on the other end, who people are consuming this cloud infrastructure could be either your Azure administrator who watch both your on-prem and your public cloud environment, as well as your DevOps roles, your developers who are consuming this cloud services. Now on the side view, this is the Azure Solution Architect. This role is actually fairly critical how we see it. It's really the person who are defining the future of your hybrid cloud strategy. Someone that fully understands the public cloud's benefits as well as the needs for an on-prem footprint or on-prem cloud environment, who defines your hybrid cloud strategy. Right, so those are essentially the 4 roles. Now, in terms of the learning resource, we're moving to the second segment. In terms of the learning resources, these are the 5 different ways that you could get information and knowledge and training and certification necessary to get you ready for Azure Stack. The top one is the Azure Stack documentation. It's available now. We'll continue to revamp the documentation library. That's the URL for that. The second one is what we call Azure Learning Path. This is a new initiative that was recently launched. Actually, I'll have a screenshot later on, but this is essentially what we provide is a set of very short video clips so that you can get the basic understanding of different Azure technologies. Now, different job roles related to public Azure. We recently added a new tab for Azure Stack Operator. I'll show you in just a minute. Azure Stack Operator training. This is the mock training, Microsoft official course. This course essentially will be an instructor-led 5-day training course. Fairly extensive content, including hands-on labs, including plenty of material for you to learn. And the goal for this training is at the end of the training, you would have sufficient knowledge to pass the certification exam. These training courses content has been published. You just need to look up some of the training providers, our partners, who provide this training, and you can register for that. This actually will cost money because it's offered as an in-classroom, in-person training. The fourth one is what we call the MOOC training, Massive Online Open Course. It's an open edX platform that's been developed and co-hosted by MIT, Stanford, Harvard, and Microsoft is part of that kind of open education platform. We publish a set of Azure courses today on there. SQL, I think, has a set of courses, and data scientists also have a set of courses on there. We'll have one course from Azure Stack Operator that will be launched, I believe, is October 16, 2017, so just a few weeks from now. These will be free, completely free, and they will be completely online, so you can do it in the comfort of your own home. And it'll be about 35 to 40 hours long. Very extensive content, just like the content that you will experience with the instructor-led training course. But this will be done by you, self-paced online. It also includes hands-on labs. Your lab result will be graded as well. So at the end of the course, you need to get pass, I believe 75% in order for you to get credit for that. And the result of this, by the way, this is wrong, it should be 35 to 40. The result of that is that you also have the right knowledge to pass the certification exam. Now, last one, the certification exam, this one will be available in January 2018, and this will be published on the Microsoft site, certification and learning site. And this certification exam will also be added into the Azure All-Up Competencies program. So MCSA and MCSC will all have this cert as part of the criteria. Right now, in calendar year 2017, it's elective, meaning you don't have to take it to get your MCSA and MCSE. But in 2018 and forward, we're discussing with the learning team, we may actually make that as one of the mandatory ones. Because this is crucial to Microsoft All-Up hybrid cloud strategy. All right, so I'm going to just quickly walk you through some of the learning research we talked about. This is the documentation site. On the site, you'll have two separate views. One is the operator view, one is the user view. The operator view essentially is your traditional system admin, or the ones who are actually managing the infrastructure. The user view essentially is the consumers or the audience of the platform. This will be your DevOps people, this will be your Azure administrators. The Azure Learning Path, if you go on to azure.com/training, and the first one shows up would be the learning path. Like I mentioned before, along with the Azure administrators, Azure solution architects, and others, we added a new tab here, Azure Stack Operator. And again, I think I talked about this before. The design for having the learning path is really to begin your journey from the learning path, because they're really short. The total length of the entire thing is about 1 hour. You gave this a try. If you like it, if you think it's something that you're interested to do, then you move on to the online training, which is very extensive, upwards towards 40 hours a week to get that. And then if you feel like this is something you truly, truly want to do, you want to get certified for that, get a credit, and you take the certification exam. This is the same kind of a view of how we envision that our customer would go through this learning path, go through that process to essentially eventually get certified. This is the official course that we talked about. It is fully developed in coordination with our product engineering team. I'm actually the one responsible to review all the content. And then we also work with our learning group as well as the partners to make sure that the labs that maps to the skill set that's critical to you to run the Azure Stack. So these are the 9 modules that's included not only on the online, not only on the instructor-led classes. These similar modules will be similar to in the online free training modules as well. I'm not going to go into details, of all the individual modules. The deck will be available. You can download that. You can look at it online as well. And this is the Open edX, this massive online open course. This course has been already, the description of the course has been published. The course is not ready until mid to end of October. But like I said, this is similar content as the instructor-led course. At the end of the course, will also prepare you well for the final certification exam. This is how that website looks like, and you can actually start enrolling it now. Once you enroll, you'll get an email, get a notification as soon as the class becomes available. Because the course is free, when you register that, I think all they really need is your email address, your name, and you could just get registered. So even the self-paced course is going to be 35 to 40 hours, just to be clear. It's very extensive content, multimedias, hands-on labs, everything included. All right, so I think that's actually pretty much the content that I have for this short theater session. Next few slides are just give you additional information as to how you would get started with Azure Stack. You can certainly start your journey by developing applications in Azure. The reason is Azure and Azure Stack are 100% consistent from the APIs level. If you have any apps that you want to deploy on public Azure or Azure Stack, you can start from Azure. And then you can validate your design models or validate your solution by using ASDK, which is free, Azure Stack Development Kit. You can download it today and install any hardware. And try that out. If you really like it or you think that actually meet your needs, then you can talk to our OEM partners and start discussing the options and configurations for your production environment. Now, since you guys are here, there are two more experiences that's relevant to Azure Stack we highly recommend. One is actually right behind you guys in the immersion zone. This is the Azure Stack immersion experience, about 75 minutes long. Well, they'll walk you through a short presentation, about 15 minutes presentation, and more importantly, they actually will walk you through a use case, a hypothetical case, but actually derived from a real customer scenario. They'll walk you through an app model and how do they design an app, why do they design that way, what are the requirements, and how they actually architect and implement that, and how they deploy that on a hybrid environment. So it's fairly interesting, and you get some hands-on experience as part of that as well. We get really good feedback on this. The next one is Azure Stack hands-on experience. This is where we actually host a set of ASDK, Azure Stack Development Kit environments on Azure, where you get access to that through a browser. You can do this anywhere at home, in office, when you go back, and you can actually get some pretty decent overview of what the admin experience looks like and what the tenant experience look like.